Oh, don't call it a comeback, but you could call it a comeback because Floyd Mayweather, as I predicted, Mystic Maxwell, there's no way that guy with that ego and everything that goes along with it is going to end on an odd number, Jason. He's all about the evens. He wants that big 5-0.
Oh, we could have done 52, 48, 36.
Yeah, exactly. Who ends up 49?
4.
The only odd number he should have ended on is 69. Anyway, Mayweather's company files for the 50 trademarks. So almost a year to the day after his super fight. Well, it's a year past since Jason lost all his money in Vegas when we were at the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight. The former pound-for-pound king, Floyd Mayweather, hinted that he might come out of retirement. So in an interview with Showtime on Saturday, Mayweather maintained that he is happily retired, but he said he has talks with CBS Showtime about possibly returning to the ring.
If I came back, of course, it have to be a 9-figure payday, and probably a championship fight and a 9-figure payday.
And his company files for the TMT 50 trademarks. Jason, we're also joined by Josh from Crave Online. Happy to have him join us here. Your initial thoughts on this? Did you expect it coming in? And we will touch on who we see.
It's the number. It's the number that Showtime is going to shell out. That is not even that surprising, although the idea of it is insane. He's only fighting for $100 million. He wants 9 figures. Granted, he's the only guy in boxing or any of the combat sports where Showtime probably wouldn't even bat an eye and sign his name on the dotted line because it would bring in way more than that. He's the only one capable of doing it in today's day and age, especially in the boxing landscape. So, $100 million to Showtime? Why not?
Yeah.
They don't got Game of Thrones. They need the money.
Absolutely right. Josh, what is your initial thoughts on this? Floyd Mayweather looking for that big 5-0. It's obviously something that we expected to see happen. I thought his retirement was a little preliminary in a lot of the talks around it. But what was your initial thoughts?
I can't roll my eyes wide enough. Guys, let's just say, as of right now, I'm more interested in what the next Taylor Swift album will sound like, whether or not Floyd Mayweather, or whatever his name is, will fight. Okay, now maybe I'm a little, I don't know, maybe I make some snap judgments on his moral character. I have some more reasons that I don't like Mayweather. But that aside, this guy will fight another time. It's going to happen. It's guaranteed for several reasons. Number one, give the guy a mohawk. And he has like the Mr. T collection around his neck. Like at all times, he's showing his bling. He's always going on vacations. He has the lavish cars, the lavish mansions. He spends millions every single month. This is a guy who lost $10 million reportedly on the Super Bowl bet, where he bet $10 million on the Broncos and the Seahawks, gave him a drumming. Yeah, but this guy spends a lot of money, a ridiculous amount of money, but even more than his lavish lifestyle. He has that adrenaline. He wants to compete. He has that need for the adrenaline inside the ring. He likes being in the news, and he wants that 50th win. He wants to break Marciano's streak. The question is, who's he going to face?
Yeah.
The bigger question is, how many people will watch? Everyone was really disappointed after coughing up $100 to watch him dance around with Manny Pacquiao. If he fights Golovkin, I think that would get some more interest, but he weighs 8-9 pounds more than Mayweather, and he says it's not going to happen. So even if he were to fight Golovkin, I'd be mildly interested. Considering he's not going to do that, I'm better off just watching Netflix, enjoying a bottle of wine with my girl.
Yeah, I would do both. But the first thing is there's more of a chance of me wearing a Jason Frankie Goes to Hollywood #relax shirt than well, it's #relax. It's like a hipster Frankie Goes to Hollywood. Then Floyd Mayweather fighting Golovkin. There is no way on this earth, right? He's fought before, right? He's fought, who did he fight before? He fought Oscar De La Hoya at junior middleweight. He fought Cotto, Alvarez, but never at 160. There is no way he's going to try and put that potential unbeaten streak up against a steam train, which is Golovkin. Golovkin would be frothing at the mouth. I can't even think about it. He would be dying to fight Mayweather and be the one to end that streak, but it won't happen.
I can tell you, if he wanted the respect of every boxing fan, he'd fight Golovkin. But respect and money are not similar. Respect and 50-0 are not similar because he's not going to take a fight he could lose. However, Danny Garcia is the name that has been tossed around. Danny Garcia, according to Floyd Mayweather, if he fought him, would make Canelo Alvarez versus Amir Khan look like nothing, which it might be, as it is. But Danny Garcia's got an actual track record. He's actually got a decent resume. He's beaten Amir Khan. He's beaten.
He gave him that glass
beaten Robert Guerrero. I mean, it's not, it's a better fight than Berto. It's not the staple name of Pacquiao, but it's a fight. And as a boxing fan myself, of course I'm going to watch, but I'm also the same guy who's going to watch Canelo versus Amir Khan. So it's just the money, man. $100 million. What would you do with $100 million? Josh, what would you do with $100 million right now?
I'm scared of what I do with $100 million, which is maybe why I shouldn't judge Mayweather too much.
Right.
But yeah, guys, I don't know. And I'm not the biggest boxing fan. I played Mike Tyson on Nintendo when I was a kid, and that's about the extent of how much I loved boxing growing up. And even right now, I've kind of grown towards more of the MMA and the UFC route than traditional boxing. But I will admit, last summer, I was glued. I could not wait for Pacquiao versus Mayweather, and I, like everyone else, was fairly disappointed. We kind of knew it would probably end up the way it did, but I'm not going to pay a lot of money to watch Mayweather dance around for 15 rounds again and just collect a paycheck. I'm just not.
So here's one thing I might be on the contrary to both of you guys here with this, is that I honestly think, you mentioned there are respect to fight Golovkin. I don't think it is respect. I just think Mayweather doesn't need to fight Golovkin. Mayweather isn't the most aesthetically pleasing in terms of his fighting style in the ring. But the guy is a genius boxer. That is just something that has to be stated. He is a genius defensive boxer. No one will ever compare, I don't think, to how he's Pretty Boy Floyd, man. The guy's barely been touched in his face. He walks down the street, you would never tell he's a boxer. He just will always have that aura about him that he can avoid punches. I personally find it somewhat interesting when I watched him fight Pacquiao. I wasn't blown away by the fight, but I was intrigued enough, and I knew this is what was going to happen. Pacquiao was going to throw big, Mayweather was just going to avoid it. So I don't think that he needs to fight Golovkin. He's smart, he doesn't need to, because it's just a fighter that Mayweather, I wouldn't say that Mayweather wouldn't have fought him in his day. I'm not going to say that, because he did fight everyone. He fought a lot of people in front of him. He fought De La Hoya.
Was his last big fight that he could have lost.
Yeah, and I think that he's given himself, as much as he's not the most likable character, he's given himself enough weight in boxing to go down as one of the greatest ever. And
as Josh mentioned, and in bling.
Yeah, and a lot of bling. Yeah. A lot of bling in there. So I think you're right. I think you're dead on. I don't even think it is much of the money, though. I do think it's the money. But Mayweather's the type of guy, Jason, that would probably come in and take less money just to have the big 50, because 50 is more marketable than 49.
Less money?
Who would turn down $100 million?
Not me.
What's less money like? Oh, he'll take $75 million. That's like an inconceivable amount to get in for less than 12 rounds. And trademarks. We talked about that in the beginning. Yeah. He filed for the 50 trademarks, in case we forgot to mention it, the TMT 50, which is, he's filed for over 140 trademarks in his life. But TMT 50 and TBE 50, the best ever, that's what that stands for, according to Mayweather, usually would point towards there's going to be a 50th fight.
There's no doubt.
Maybe it's just getting ahead for his 50th birthday. Could be.
It could be very good, but it's the ego side of it, though. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that he wouldn't accept the money, Jason. We know this. I'm talking about just the ego. It's like is Zlatan in football. Zlatan would play to get an iconic number attached to his name. Mayweather would do the exact same thing. He doesn't want, I don't think, to retire with Rocky Marciano having the same record as him. He wants to retire as the best ever with the most pristine record out of anyone else, and I think that's more where the weight comes from rather than just the money side of it. But he wouldn't be Floyd Mayweather without the money.
And we've seen boxers do this before, guys. We've seen boxers that kind of like Michael Jordan towards the end of his career. They just can't hang it up. Like Brett Favre, they just have trouble hanging it up. I had to look up Muhammad Ali, one of my idols, someone I look up to, and he was days away from his 40th birthday by his last fight. And he was, at that point, still having serious health problems. Mayweather's 39. He can squeeze in one more. It's going to happen.
We will agree on that. There's no doubt. But we want to know what you guys think in the comment section below. As always, love to hear your thoughts when it comes to the world of boxing, to Floyd Mayweather and all that good stuff. Make sure to check out Josh. All his social and Twitter and Instagram and the good stuff will be in the comment section below. So make sure to check that out. Also check out Crave Online. Amazing website. We love to be partnering with you guys. Come back to TYT Sports. Jason Rubin 91. Francis_Maxwell on Twitter as well. See you soon.